bank, you go to the reception, information counter, then you want to meet one mortgage broker, you give the name, she will route you. Same way. So you first go there, then it will be routed there. Okay. It's like a small router. Some security, but not high level security. Okay. So now we look at the SAP GUI. So we have different systems, right? We always give our basis students a system landscape, because when you work in a company, you're not going to work in one server, right? You're going to work in 50 or 20 servers, like 30 servers like that, right? So you have to understand how in a real-time environment these things work, right? For that reason, we always give system landscapes, right? So we have two system landscapes, one system landscape in one location, another system landscape for another location, right? For redundancy, one thing, and the second thing is in one system landscape, you can do whatever you like. In the other system landscape, whatever we have configured, you use it, right? So I already given access to Midla to one system landscape, so other one I didn't give, so later we will give, right? For you all also we will give, right? So you will really feel like you are working in a company. You will be creating transports, you will be moving transports from development to quality, then you do testing, and from quality to production you move, right? You'll get the real time experience. Apart from that, we will give you access to Solution Manager server. Solution Manager server controls all the servers in the system landscape. Rather than controlling or monitoring or administering individual SAP systems, I can administer all the SAP systems through Solution Manager server. Easier. So I want you to understand that also. So we give you access for that also. And also we give you some access to Enterprise Portal server to understand that. Because most of the jobs, basis administrators, they ask you, or do you have experience with Portal? Do you have experience with Solution Manager? Do you have experience with Basis? Do you have experience with Unix? Right? So we will try to give as much as possible, then you can, so that you can say yes, right? Right?
Yeah.
Good. Then this is Office systems, and this is the other landscapes. So two landscapes we have, right? So we will go to the other one. So we will go to the development system. So I'll go to the properties. So this is the IP address of the server. This is the instance number, and this is the SID, and the router string we have to put, right? So we have to say learn dot say knc dot com or so, right? Something we gave. So this IP address, this router string, this domain name is mapped to the public IP address in that location, right? You don't have to put /h on both sides. It will come automatically. It will come automatically. Now if I say OK, now if I open, that will be there. Automatically the HS will be added. Yeah, it will be added, right? Okay. Instead of application server's IP address, you can give application server name also. I can give application server name. Then you know now, application server, you know the meaning. You know what it is. Then you know what is SID. SID is 3 character. First character should be a alphabet, and there are certain names we cannot use. And then what is instance number? That is difficult for you to understand now.
Will that be like the instance as like MySQL instance, you know, the instance for the server for the database? Is that what that is, or is different?
Okay. The instance is similar to that. Instance is actually made up of, in this case, dispatcher, work process, and memory.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I can allow some people to log in through certain instance, which has some memory, some dispatcher, and some work process.
Okay.
I can allow some people to log in through another instance which has maybe a lot of memory, lot of lot of dispatch, so lot of work process, always one dispatcher. Lot of work process we have. So I'm giving some people to log in through the instance which has lot of work process. For some people, little number of work process, like that. So I can control. Also, I can have different parameters set. The people logging in through this 8-character password. People logging in through that 20-character password. Okay. Also, some instances I can shut down, provided it's not a central instance, and then repair the other instance. Repair the shutdown instance. I can shut down an instance and repair that, or maybe do something, make some parameter changes and start again, right? So I can have multiple parameters. I can have different parameter values for different instances. You won't understand that now, right? We will talk about that later. Okay. So now we assume that we created a system. Okay, that is not the one. We created a system. Then now we are trying to log in. So we install SAP GUI. This is SAP GUI. We install SAP GUI. Okay. Then we went to connections, and then we right click and then say add a new entry. Okay. Then we add a new entry. We get a screen like this. Say next. Then we type out whatever you want to type. Description can be anything. But application server can be the right one, right one, right one, right one. If it is in your own network, that means your server is in the network where you are logging in from, same network address, then you don't have to give the router string. Because in the same network address, right? You don't have to give the IP address. Otherwise, these three are must. If the server is outside your network, then you have to give an IP. You have to give a public IP address, right? Or the default gateway or whatever it is, right? Then after that you say finish, right? In this case we cancel, right? So I will go to one system. So I clicked on this, so I opened another window. Now you are seeing the login screen. So in the login screen, it will ask you the client number. I have a client number 001. Always client is three numbers. 000 to 99. Yeah.
999.
Yeah. So
Is that not default?
which is not default?
Is it the client number is not default or a default one or?
No. Here you say 001 as the default one. It doesn't mean that way. If I want to change the default, yes, I can change. So I will change a parameter 800. So after I change the parameter, it becomes 800 default client. So for instance, if I have 3 instances in my server, people logging in through one instance, I can say your default client is 000. People logging in through another client, your default client is 8000. So another advantage of having instances. Sorry, logging through different instances. So people logging in through different instances, they can have different default clients. That's another advantage of allowing you to log in through different instances. I'm talking about default client, right? It doesn't mean a person who logs in through 01 instance, a person logging in through 01 instance have access to client called 800, and the person logging in through 50 instance will not have access to 8000? No, he will have access or she will have access. Client, nothing to do with the instance. But the default client, yes. I can set the default client depending on my instance where I log in. Okay? Because there is a parameter called login default client. So I will say that is equal to 800 for this particular instance. For the other particular instance, I will say 900. I can change. For this particular client, this particular instance, if I log in through this particular instance, my default client is 001. Okay. I logged into quality system, QAS system. That means this one, right? I have 2 instances here, 03 and 01. So if I click on here, properties, it will say 03 instance. if I click on here and say properties, it will say 01 instance. But I'm going to the same server.
Same server.
And I can log into the same client. But my default the client can be different. Doesn't have to be same. I can change it by changing the parameter for that particular instance. Okay? You will learn that later. So this is just an introduction, right? Yeah. So it will ask me for a client number, my username, my password. So I give my username and the password. You will learn about client number later. Okay? What do you mean by client number, right? So I will log in into the system. I have SAP EC Access. Okay?
Yeah.
So what did I do? I installed SAP GUI in my computer. Then I went to SAP GUI. I right click on the connections. I added a new entry. And then I entered all this information. Then I said finish. Then I got something like this. I got something like this. Okay?
Yeah.
Then what I did? Then I double clicked on this. Then I came here. Okay?
Yeah.
Then it gave me the login screen, sorry. After I enter the login credentials, then it authenticated me to the system. So after it authenticated me to the system, I got a screen like this. This screen is SAP EC Access. Okay?
Does the easy access mean something?
EC Access.
Where you can, I think where you, go ahead, sir.
Because it's easy to access, right?